Is this weird for anybody else? Oh my god. How does it almost feel like it's too good of quality? Like, I'm gonna try to act like completely normal this video, but I got a new camera and I've been playing with it with photography, but I haven't tested out with videography. So this is my first video that I'm filming on my new camera. Do we like it? I'm trying not to geek, like honestly. When you're into things that you like and then after a really long time you start to actually like obtain the new things that you've been looking into getting for yourself, I literally feel like a kid in a candy store now. Oh my god, this is so good. This is so good. I almost don't even know what to do. The end of October is approaching. I don't know why my favorite month always tries to act like it has somewhere to be. Today, we're gonna be doing something a little bit different. I decided, you know what? I feel like I haven't done like a solid routine type of video in forever, but today we're gonna make it a little bit more fun because I was like, you know what, girl, you've been working really hard, you've been trying to make yourself such a good person, and I've been doing really good at it, by the way. So I was like, you know what, that's not gonna work now, is it? Today we're gonna be doing like kind of a mini reset main spa night type of thing, just because I feel like I've been ripping and running for the past like 35 weeks and I really don't take that. Okay, I take good care of myself, but it definitely could be like better, so don't like yell at me please, because I know it's like really bad. This video is sponsored by BetterHelp, so thank you for them for sponsoring today's video. We can't start any of this with makeup on the face. Guys, when I tell you, I literally was out doing an event. Well, it was my cousin's baby shower, but I count as doing an event because I was taking the pictures for it for two and a half hours. And when I tell you this is the first time that I'm like chilling out, I started looking through the photos and everything, but yo, I am tired and I just realized half my lashes are gone. Guys, before I do anything, I'm actually going to put on the other half of my lashes because I took them off this eye and I can't tell you why, but it's very concerning, so I'm gonna change them. I started using a new set of clusters today. I used the 𝐭𝐡𝐞𝐬𝐞 clusters. I think these are excellent. When I was getting my lashes done, this is what I would pay hundreds of dollars for. Not that this work is not worth the money, but the fact that I can do 10 sets of this and it'll be $100 is insane. Do you see this white thing on my eye? You can, but don't look at it. Just don't look at it. Don't be in my business, girl. Using the Fenty Skin Melt Off Jelly Oil Makeup Melting Cleanser. I used to always be a makeup wipe type of person, but I recently have just become like just really in love with cleansing balms because they are just so much easier in my opinion. Especially, I always feel like I also just get a better clean in like makeup removal. When I use like cleansing balms, I don't know what it is. I just like it a lot more. And also, it's not my fault that it's Fenty. I feel like I use nothing but Fenty. You would think I was the ambassador or creative director for Robin Fenty herself, but I'm not. I'm just a regular consumer who just really loves Fenty and everything they do, and it's not my fault that all their products are very good at what they're intended to do. We're back in business, guys. You like it? I hope so. Usually I would do this in the shower, but wrong website, not gonna sit up here on live. I think it's just easier, but I was like, you know what, let me actually like become present, talk to you guys, and speak to you as I'm removing my makeup for the day. I feel like it's very rare that I get on camera nowadays with absolutely nothing on my face besides like moisturizer, SPF, and it's not that that's a bad thing, but I just feel like, you know, you don't have to like put as much effort in all the time, girl. Like, it's okay to be looking a little busted and crusted, you know, one lash hanging off, you know the vibes. Now that my face is officially makeup free, I still have the balm on my face just because I like to let it sit, marinate, do all that type of stuff. I'm going to actually get in the shower, wash off all this dirt, sweat, and hard work from the day. So we're gonna go ahead and get in the shower. Although we love a good spa night, that is not going to solve all of our mental health issues, and that's why I prefer BetterHelp when it comes to online therapy. As somebody who spent years in therapy, it can be super hard to find a therapist, which is why I love how BetterHelp allows you to take a quiz and get matched with somebody as soon as possible so you can start your mental health journey today. Whether you need somebody to talk to or professional help, BetterHelp is there for you anytime, anywhere on your phone, tablet, or laptop. And because they have thousands of licensed therapists within their network, you can switch at any time if things aren't really working out. Like I said, a spa night is wonderful, but sometimes you just need to have a really good conversation via text or phone or video chat, and BetterHelp has all that for you. If you're interested in trying BetterHelp, be sure to use the link in my description or type in betterhelp.com/aaliyah, which is betterhelp, HELP.com/aaliyah for 10% off your first month with BetterHelp. And thank you for sponsoring today's video. Remember how I was like, wrong website? We have this really cute, really fun, really fresh bathtub tray. Is this not super fun? I'm sorry, y'all. I can't get over how good this camera is. Are we liking it? I hope we're liking it because I'm loving it. I'm gonna sit up here and lie. This water is lukewarm at best, but I am going to be doing some things in the tub today. I'm gonna be shaving my legs, underarms, and then it's giving foot mask. I recently picked up some stuff from Lush, and two of those things is the Volcano foot mask and then the 𝐭𝐿 body scrub. So I was like, oh my gosh, might as well try this with you guys. I also have the Kapari exfoliating crush scrub that I'm gonna use as well. This 𝐭𝐿 is really tiny. When I bought it, I was like, oh my god, they give me a free sample. I paid for this. No further questions, Your Honor. To make this a little bit more interesting, I asked you guys on my spam to ask me some questions for me to answer while I'm sitting in the tub because duh. I pulled some out and I'm gonna go ahead and answer them. I'm going to be going in with the EOS Shea Better 24-hour moisture shave cream. When I tell you I live and die by this shave cream, I didn't work with these people for no reason. Top 5 vacation destinations that I want to go to that I haven't visited yet. I've been a big traveler since day one. Actually, a lot of my trips that I've taken in my life, they're on my YouTube channel as vlogs or like talking vlogs, travel vlogs that are like montagey. My family's always been like super big into traveling just because they want us to experience like the world. So they've always really been into traveling, whether it's domestic here in the US or international. They've always wanted us to go outside. I think one of the only trips that I didn't document on my YouTube channel was when I went to Italy when I was like in the 6th grade. And when I tell you, that trip literally changed my life and I would go back in a heartbeat. But we're talking about places that I haven't been. So I say all this to say, let's discuss the places that I have been so I can tell you where I want to go that I haven't. Inside the country, I have been to Florida, California, New York, Virginia, Tennessee, South Carolina, Georgia, DC. That's not a state, but it's a place. Those are the states that I've been to here. Places I've been to outside the US, I've been to Jamaica, Aruba, Cancun, the Bahamas, Italy, and that's everywhere. This is a very hard question because I've actually been to a lot of spots that I've wanted to travel to already. If I had to name any, I'm trying to drop my phone in the tub. I'm gonna literally just have to end it all. They didn't specify if it had to be international or domestic, you guys know that, but I'm gonna do 5 international because I'm not the biggest America stan. If you're new here, you know this already. I've recently been really into traveling to Amsterdam. I've been to Amsterdam before, but I've never like explored it. Was there very briefly as like a layover when I went to Italy. My old passport is stamped with Amsterdam, I believe, but I never like explored it, so I don't really count me going to Amsterdam as going to Amsterdam. Another place I would like to go to is Scotland, surprisingly. A lot of places that I actually want to visit has to deal with the type of architecture that they have there because countries in that type of like region have such beautiful architecture, and here in America we just don't have that. I feel like experiencing different types of architecture is the reason I would want to go to a lot of these places that I'm saying. I also feel like I would want to go to South Africa. My mom actually went to South Africa over the summer for about between 9 and 13 days. I'm pretty sure it was like 10 days, but don't take my word for that. It probably was 10 days, but I just don't want to be wrong ever. I would also like to go to I think Bali would also be really nice. I feel like a lot of people say that just because it is really gorgeous. I think the people and just kind of the culture in Bali is what's really kind of drawing me to it. Bali, everything that I've seen about it and people's vlogs and just the background, its history, it's super interesting to me. I was gonna shake my toe, so sorry. Tokyo, I feel like Tokyo would be super fun. I don't really know how that would go just because the travel day is so long, but I feel like Tokyo is just such a fun place and it has so much to offer, and it's so different from any place that I feel like I personally have ever been to, so I feel like it would be a really good switch up of what I've gone to and just, you know, things that I would want to go to. So we have Tokyo, South Africa, Scotland, Amsterdam. I'm gonna say, I think my last place would be probably somewhere in South America, honestly. I just can't pick which one. Either South America or Spain because they are detached. If you don't know that, we need to discuss. I love this camera. This is my first video that I'm filming with it, so if you see me like changing settings or things are like a little bit wonky the first couple of videos, I'm sorry, but we're trying new stuff. I'm using this on my feet. This has like little micro beads in it to exfoliate instead of the really big ones. I feel like for my feet, I would prefer the really big ones, so I'm still gonna exfoliate the other one because what I do to one thing, I do to the other. Y'all know this, not new to this because you're true to this. This smells really good though. It's like It smells like there's the finest amount of eucalyptus in here, and this is like the perfect little relaxation smell type of thing. My grandma recently gave me these like handmade shower bombs, but I call them shower bombs, but basically what you do is you put them on the floor of your shower, and the steam from your shower essentially emits the smell in them. My cousin's mom-in-law makes them by hand, so she makes a whole bunch of stuff by hand, so I actually really adore her stuff because I've been trying to do a lot better with actually investing in things like self-care and just, you know, make my life a little bit easier. I'm gonna use it in the shower, but I forgot it downstairs because I literally just got it today after the baby shower, so yeah, that's always fun, fresh, exciting. I'm gonna use the 𝐚𝐼 exfoliating crush scrub. I'm about to put this on my legs. Also, this is the kind of feel for it. This is what it looks like. Ignore that hole. I don't know what is that? I don't know. It looks like I stuck my finger in there and then changed my mind with using it one day. I don't know. How do I know it's time for an unwind? I think the best way, yeah, this is what I needed. I think the best thing I can honestly say is listening to my body, because if my body is feeling run down, girl, mental health not gonna be that far behind. I think just listening to my body, if I'm feeling run down or anything like that, that's the best way that I could do so, just because you'd be surprised at how different types of stressors come out of your body. Just like how when you're stressed, you might get a headache, stress migraine. My legs feel delicious. I love body scrubs so much. I know we're not really supposed to use the big chunky type of body scrubs, but this 𝐚𝐼, you did your big one, baby. I don't know, I just think it's quite insane how our body communicates that we're kind of doing a lot. And I actually think it's kind of amazing. I've been trying to be more in tune with that type of part of my health, just because you can ask any one of my friends. I always push myself to the absolute limits. Like, I don't know when to stop, when to rest. So I've been trying to focus on really listening to my body to kind of figure out, okay, when is it time to like relax and do stuff like that. And another thing I've kind of been implementing that you didn't really ask me, want to talk about anyway, I've been implementing just a better night routine in general. Like, I try not to work up until the very last minute, like right before my night shower, and then I just go to bed. I try to get a little bit off my workload for the day, take a nice good shower, and I like to read. I like to spend time watching shows, listen to music. Sometimes I do it in silence, it just depends. Just spend some time with myself on a day-to-day basis so I don't feel as strong as impacts, if that makes sense. Like, I like to do small things consistently so I don't have to do big things as inconsistently, just because I feel like that's the best thing that personally works for me. I'm sorry, I haven't had a zoom lens on a vlog camera in so long, so bear with me if I keep moving stuff around. Do you ever sometimes feel like you can't relate to people your age? I recently was talking to one of my super old friends since like middle school, and if you guys watch my like high school vlogs, I'm gonna use this on my arm, you might know her, but my good friend 𝐿𝐴𝐥𝐢𝐥𝐢, literally known her since like day one. Like, when I think of day one, I think of 𝐿𝐴𝐥𝐢𝐥𝐢. Do we talk every day? No, but every time we talk, it's an amazing thing, and it feels like really no time has passed. She's just always been like there for me, and she's literally one of my greatest friends like ever. Like, I love 𝐿𝐴𝐥𝐢𝐥𝐢 so much. I was talking to her a couple weeks ago, and I remember I was telling her, because of the position I am in social media, it kind of feels like I've done everything. And I'm very proud of myself for doing kind of quote unquote everything. I feel like I've, not to be like, oh, I did all this. It's gonna make sense when I like explain it in a second, but I feel like I've kind of done everything. Like, I've graduated college, I got the house, I got the career, I get the tax bracket. Like, you know, I feel like I've kind of accomplished everything. So right now I'm just kind of figure out what to do with myself. And she was saying, 𝐿𝐴𝐥𝐢𝐥𝐢, these things do not define you. What defines you is who you are as a person. And she went into detail about saying how when she met me, I was not 𝐿Iah Simone or 𝐿Iah what? You're just 𝐿Iah. And all my friends see me as 𝐿Iah and not the things that I have accomplished. Although that's a part of who I am, that doesn't make me who I am. And you guys are probably like, 𝐿Iah, what are you talking about, girl? You're not talking about nothing. I'm also gonna exfoliate my chest because, hello, look at that. This thing is gone. I feel like I can relate to people my age simply because, achievements aside, I honestly am still just a 21-year-old girl. Like, I'm a 20-year-old girl, young adult, trying to figure out this life thing. And just because I was put in a really good position, that doesn't necessarily mean that like I feel any different from anybody my age, because everybody around me, we're all 21, 20, 22 years old, and we're all just trying to figure out this thing called life. I remember when I was in college in 2020 when I first went. Yes, I'm one of those people that you won't hear me blabbing about it 24/7. I felt so almost like detached, if that makes sense, from my peers because I feel like I was just super lucky. And school aside, I had a plan. Like, I genuinely had a plan for my career, and a lot of people couldn't say that because my plan was already set in motion. College has always been an option for me. There was a point in time where I didn't want to go to college, but we're not gonna talk about that because I ended up getting a degree 2 years early, so whatever. I just felt kind of like out of place with some of my peers back at that time because I was so wrapped up in thinking that I just feel super different and as an outcast because I'm just in a different position than a lot of these people. But because of your position, that doesn't strip away who you are. Like, where you are in life doesn't say anything about your character. And I think that's the best thing that I personally have ever learned about myself, just because I feel like it's so easy to try to label ourselves and give ourselves titles based on our achievements and kind of like ridicule ourselves based on what we've done, what we've accomplished, what we haven't done, what we haven't accomplished. And it's just very easy to get the two mixed up as to your accomplishments do define you. I feel like it's just super, I don't know if this is like making sense.
Editing Leah here. Hi. I just also wanted to come in here and say that I forgot like the biggest point of why I started saying this. I didn't say it, but essentially after expressing that, I feel like I kind of did everything that like anybody kind of strives to do in life so early. Once again, not to brag, but it's just kind of like a statement, and it's to the point where I don't know what to do with myself, or I feel like I don't know what to do with myself, which was the whole point of the conversation. 𝐿𝐴𝐼 told me now that I kind of have done everything and I've achieved everything I wanted to achieve, now it's time to figure out who I am as an adult and who I want to be, and just figuring out who I am. Now that I've kind of done everything and don't have a specific like goal, like, oh, I want to do this. My next goal should be spending more time with myself and figuring out who I am. I meant to say that and I didn't. And it kind of doesn't really answer the question, but I just thought I would still share. So, past all my achievements, now that I've done all the things that I wanted to do, she advised that in order to fill that kind of hole that I was feeling, because like I kind of feel like I was just moving aimlessly, I now have the time to figure out who I am and stand on that and just, you know, learn who aliyah is.
I really just think that over time, I've come to the conclusion that I really do relate to my people my age, maybe not on a financial or career level, but strip that all the way, I'm still a 21-year-old young adult girl who's just trying to figure stuff out. I've come to realizing I relate to people my age more than I actually felt like a really long time ago. No, I don't. Do you struggle with growing up in the public eye? If you didn't know, I've been on YouTube since I was like preteen, since I was like 11. My 10-year anniversary is actually this upcoming January. I've been on the platform for a really long time, and basically every single major milestone and achievement that I've done since that time of my life is there. Like, not considering like middle school, because like I stopped posting. Terrible content creator, but whatever. My underarms literally didn't even have but whatever. I don't think I've ever like truly thought about how that has made me like feel, but I don't think I've ever like quote unquote struggled with growing up on the internet, because at the end of the day, I'm not comparing myself to a celebrity at all, but like we've seen people go from like nothing to everything in media. I feel like with social media, it's just a different type of growing up, because with the rise of like the content creator influencer, it's so like personal. There's just more personal things out there. So I don't want to say I necessarily struggled. I quite frankly like don't really think about it, because at the end of the day, I kind of just do this for me, because at the end of the day, I started this to make connections with people, and that's what I've done since day one, and I kind of like never lost sight of that to the point where it could even become like not okay for me to do. I don't think I've ever like necessarily like struggled, if that makes sense. It's just something that I've been doing for years, and I don't really like think twice about, because I have a diary of like what I've been doing since I was like 15 years old on here, and I'm 21 now. So I think that's cool to look at, than kind of being like, damn, every single thing, every almost fuck up, high moment, low moment, achievement, failures on this platform. I don't really think about it like that. It's just like, whatever, you know? What are your top 5 songs right now? What is your day list at the moment? Before I start scrubbing down my pits, let me go on my day list. I'm gonna take you into my Spotify really quick. I was listening to my After Hours playlist. I just started making it. I need to finish it. So I'll link it down below if you want it, but it's still in the works. My day list basically right now is Dreamy. The names that Spotify comes up for these day lists is so annoying. I'm just holding a piece of like scrub in my hand. I'm sorry. But right now it's Dreamy Boom Bap Saturday evenings. I'm filming this on Saturday. And I listen to Abstract Boom Bap on Saturday evenings. Here's some Boom Bap Solitude, Smooth, Jazz, Hip Hop, Tranquil, and Lyricism. This is what it is right now. I wasn't really like interested in listening to this one because it's just not really my type of music, if that makes sense, even though that is what I listen to. I don't know what a day list is. Basically, Spotify is dominating the streaming features once again. Basically, a day list is something that Spotify makes based on your listening mannerisms, and what they do is that they update it 2, 3, 4 times a day, depending on if it's morning, evening, night, late at night, and they'll change it based on your listening habits. So for example, they said I listen to such and such on a Saturday, so they're gonna give this to me right now. I don't know the exact like tracking science behind it, to be honest. I think it's really cool because, as many of you know, music is such a big part of my life. I'm sorry for the water splashing. I don't have my mic plugged in because I wanted to see how the camera and body audio was, so excuse that. You guys know that music is such a big part of who I am as a person and just what I personally like to do and indulge in. That's my favorite kind of media, not gonna sit up here and lie. I've just always been super interested in making playlists and using music to kind of make myself feel things, because that's just what I do. I don't know if it's because I was never good at explaining how I feel as a child or as an early teen, preteen, teenager, adult. I don't know what it is. I've always just loved doing stuff like that because it's just super fun to me, and making playlists is a way for me to express myself, my interests, and also my personal music taste. I say this to say I low-key stopped making playlists since the daylist feature came out because it kind of does all that work for you. And as somebody who kind of hates listening to new music because I like to listen to stuff I know, I love the daylist feature because it integrates a heavy amount of what I listen to, but then curate it to where, okay, she's probably gonna like this. And so far, I absolutely love it. So if you don't have Spotify, I'll link my Spotify down below. So if you want to listen to my playlist that I have publicly, you definitely can. If you want to listen to my current playlist that I actually made, it's 24/7. I'll link that separately down below. So I'll link my account and my 24/7 playlist, and then the daylist feature and how to get there, because I think it's amazing. I'm sitting here when I could be playing with my feet. I'm also about to start working on my feet, so watch out, Dan Schneider. Get out my comments, girl. Well, I'm too old, so whatever. I would also like to say my current top 5 songs, I probably could go on my Spotify on repeat section and genuinely tell you the top 5 songs that I'm listening to right now, but I don't want to embarrass myself, so I'm just gonna tell you my current top favorite songs. 7 Hours, Dominic Fike. You guys know this already. I love him. I love Sunburn. Not gonna go into any further detail than that, because once I start, I cannot stop. Also, this is like not a faux pumice stone. It's weird. It's from Lush. I'm gonna link all the stuff that I'm using down below if you want to use it. Or you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Currently just using this to scrub my feet. It smells like sherbet, and I personally love that. But my second favorite song right now is probably Love Drought by Beyonce. I think the Love Drought hate is really forced, in my opinion. I think the hate is very forced, kind of uncalled for, and I think we should stop that immediately. I also think one of my favorite songs right now, it's hard, I never think of like 5s. Probably something off Renaissance. It's probably Heated. I love Heated. Anytime I'm in a bad mood, I turn on Heated, and by the time it's tip, tip, tip on hardwood floors, 10, 10, 10s across the board, I'm automatically in a better mood. I wish I could like name something off the top of my head, but I don't really think in like individual songs. My feet sound ashy. This toe, I think I got a blister or something. I'm gonna give you my top 3. So those are like my 3 more recent favorite songs and what I've been noticing myself listen to. I also kind of had a fixation on Crazy in Love. I don't know what's up with that, but that song is actually just really good. I think it's excellent. Probably one of my favorite Beyonce songs to ever hit my ears. Where Were You? And what was your first Beyonce song that you remember genuinely liking besides Single Ladies? I'll wait. Bet you can name one. I know that for sure. My foot sounds awful. This sounds, whatever. I'm not gonna think about it anymore. You guys are probably like, Aaliyah, where's the face mask, girl? Like, you could be doing a face mask right now. We're gonna do it after the tub, okay? I have some things I want to talk about. I'm gonna take the foot mask now. It says cover your feet in this kaolin, pumice, papaya, and tomato bath to soften and deodorize soles. I don't need to deodorize, but why does this smell like this? Look at this. It looks cool. I don't mind how this looks at all, but the smell, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the smell, but I guess we could make something shake. Okay, I'm literally gonna have to sit with my feet hanging out the tub, so please excuse that. I'm showing so much soul on my foot right now. I'm so sorry. A lot of you guys have been asking me if I'm doing daily or weekly vlogmas this year, and just know, now that I've tested out the weekly kind of pattern, I don't know if I will ever go back to daily. No shade. I think weekly, this is so much foot content. This is almost like weird. Is this weird? Okay, I'm just gonna have to bend out the tuck. Ever since I went to the weekly format where I could just have one video a week instead of 7, I don't think I'll honestly go back to the daily. So be expecting the weekly vlogmas videos because y'all love a movie and it saves me so much time. It's just so much easier than trying to produce 7 videos a week when I could just do one long one, and I genuinely like it instead of like half-assing a video and just kind of putting it up. Should I put a lot of this like on the dry parts on my feet? My feet get so dry in the fall and winter, it's kind of sick. I don't know who I got that from, probably my daddy, knowing me. I'm sadly one of those girls who got their dad feet. I don't think that's fair, Bookie. I think we should do a redo. How do you relax? I don't. I find myself relaxing in ways that involve just not working. So for example, I'll stop editing, and when I'm usually not editing, I'm relaxing. So through small tasks such as like cooking, cleaning, really just enjoying my own company, reading a book, watching a show, watching a movie, or just sitting in silence listening to music, playing with my dog, going on walks, anything that doesn't really involve like my full 120% attention, I consider like relaxing. I don't know if that's good or bad. How do you get comfortable going to places alone? Asking for anybody with anxiety. So I want to talk about this because I recently have been experiencing a lot of anxiety. It started on a very particular day, and I was actually vlogging that day, and in that video I've started voicing my anxiety, like kind of history, how I'm dealing with it towards the end of the video, because it really started hitting me around like 4 or 5 p.m. I'm not sure what happened, but thankfully I'm over that now. I feel like if you deal with anxiety going out by yourself, you definitely just need to be like, you kind of have to come to the realization that you're not gonna be with somebody 24/7, especially when it comes to being out in public. I think after having that type of realization, I was like, girl, you're not gonna be able to have a friend with you 24/7. You're not gonna be able to do something with somebody 24/7 because it's like not realistic. So I will say I got comfortable by just doing it more often, and I went to places that I knew I felt safe with people, and places I knew I felt safe like just in general to kind of like kick it off. So when I did go to places, I did feel a little bit more uneasy. So I just kind of had to set myself up. I like to wear my headphones, of course, transparency on, never noise cancellation in place where I feel uneasy, and I just kind of bop and kind of realize, hey, I'm doing this at my own pace. Nobody's really checking for me, and that's just kind of worked for me. What are some things that keep you sane? For sure, this bread. This money. These blue Benjis. Aside from that, because money does buy mental health help, so I'm technically not lying. I feel like this is gonna be really cheesy, but definitely my significant other and my younger sister, because they are two of the people that I talk to. This is like cooling on the feet. Oh my god. Anyway, they definitely keep me sane and grounded because they tell me when I do things wrong, when I'm doing things right, if I'm doing good, things I could do better, and they just keep me well-rounded because they're two of the most interesting, fun, humble people I know, and they're just really fun to talk to. So they definitely keep me sane. What is something that will always be a staple in your self-care routine? Something for these feet, girl. Or a good body scrub. You could have a terrible shaving cream, a terrible exfoliating routine. You could just have a regular, super soft washcloth that doesn't scrub anything. You get yourself a good body scrub, you scrubbing all that off. That or Castile soap, because y'all know I don't play about that. I love to shower. Not to be like, oh, I shower 3 times a day, different rags for my coochie. Oh, I do love to shower. There are some staples in there, such as Castile soap. I say that to include that as my self-care routine because showering is self-care to me because it's so fun and so fresh. So I think that's wonderful. Also, side note, I haven't got my toes done since Aruba. It's about to be November. Hopefully next time I film something, we will be dealing with that or have dealt with that. What do you miss about being a teenager? I don't know if it's just me, but unpopular opinion, I don't really miss much from being a teenager just because I feel like I love adulthood so much. Of course, I don't like the inflation, the recession, I don't like none of that. But I feel like because my life has just been so stable for so long, just like emotionally and mentally for a really long time. Well, let me not say mentally, but emotionally. And just I have a good support system around me at all times. It's just been super easy for me to transition from teenagedom to adulthood. A lot of people like reminisce on childhood, and I still do that, but a lot of people hate the fact about like growing up. But quite frankly, I think growing up is one of the most beautiful things people could actually do because you're not the person you were yesterday and you're not the same person you were 10 years ago. And it's not that I was a terrible teenager and I'm ashamed of who I was as a teenager, but I quite frankly like just don't miss that phase of my life. People go about feeling secure in their teenage years and their childhood years by doing things in their adult years, but I personally have never felt like, not insecure, but I've never felt like not secure about something in my life to the point where I kind of want to revert back or like start overly missing how I once was or how things once were in my teenage years, if that makes sense. I kind of don't really miss it just because I know as of right now, today, moving forward, today is the best position I've ever been in my life, and I hope as I get older and grow into more of an adult, I still feel the same way, and every day just becomes a better position for me, to the point where I don't feel the need or the want to like miss being a teenager or like a kid again. Does that make sense? If I have to pick something, I'll say like, oh, I miss not having to pay bills. Said everyone ever. The last question, I'm gonna get out the tub because I've been sitting in here and recording for 39 minutes. How do you not lose yourself in romantic relationships? I wanted to answer this question specifically because I feel like this is a very easy answer but very hard to execute. You have to see yourself as an individual unit before you can go into a partner unit dynamic. Outside of your relationship, you are an individual. In a relationship, you are an individual. And once you start seeing yourself as not somebody who's an individual, but somebody who's in a relationship, that's when shit starts to hit the fan. And I'm sorry to cuss. Another big part of this is you have to view yourself as an individual and treat yourself like an individual. And somebody who's constantly up under their significant other 24/7, it would be really easy for me to just easily give into all of my significant other's likes, dislikes, things he enjoys doing, instead of actually tuning into mine. And something I've been doing a lot, especially in the past couple of years, is actually taking time for myself to do things that I like that he's not involved in. For example, we share common things. We watch shows together, watch movies together, and sure, it's a show that one of us may have put each other onto or something totally new. Aside from that, I'll have my own show that I love to watch. He doesn't like Gossip Girl, the original 2006. I do, so I'll watch that by myself. He likes to read manga because he's into like anime and stuff, and I like to read books, so we'll go to Barnes and Noble together, but usually when we're shopping, we won't be together because we're off doing our own type of like thing. So I think having small little things like that is the foundation for that, because if you can't do stuff like that, baby, you're already in too deep. But I will say, I feel like in order to not lose yourself, you have to have a sense of who you are already, especially when you're at like a really impressionable age, such as a teenager, young adult, because young adults are impressionable. Even some adults, it's very easy to take on behaviors, likes, dislikes of other people, even when you don't intentionally do it. But I will say, having a good sense of self and what you like, what you enjoy outside of friends, partners, family members, it all starts kind of like there, if that makes sense. Let's see how this rinses off. This was a very interesting mask. I don't like the smell of it, but my feet feel really good, which was like the main reason why I wanted to do this type of video, because I need a good foot care routine. Somebody actually asked me, I can't remember if it was in a YouTube video or a question sticker, I can't remember, but somebody was like, girl, would you ever do your feet at home? Yeah. If I had the time and energy, oh, my toenail hurts. That's not good, girl. I think it's time to go get them done. It's dark in my kitchen. Maybe I should like not put this across the counter. It's currently super dark in my kitchen. It's pushing 10 o'clock on a Saturday night and I'm in a face mask, warm clothes with the face mask and ice cream. Lying here, really bad. Okay. You're probably wondering, 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿, dinner maybe? Just a thought, maybe? We'll get there, relax, I promise. As I was patiently watching Mike's season 1 Gossip Girl video, I was like, you know what? Let me import this footage, see how it's looking, this, that, and the third. So far, I really liked it. I did tweak some settings since the first part. You guys don't really care about camera stuff, but I did tweak some settings since the first part of filming this. I don't know, let's see. Not a big fan of the audio, but I wasn't gonna plug in a mic halfway through a video. Maybe next vlog, I'll do some test shots, test vlogging for a day, maybe just not post it. Because I have the most wonderful significant other in the world, he's bringing me Wingstop for dinner. And because he did just have a pretty big anniversary pass, So he got me an entire nothing bundt cake because it's my favorite cake. He got me a full-sized one, first of all, and then he got my favorite flavor, which is lemon, because he's a literal sweetheart, and he's gonna watch this and be like, oh yeah, him. I was honest to tell you, tonight's menu, let me get I should put the cake in here, but I'm probably gonna eat some after I eat my Wingstop. Today's dinner menu does in fact involve Wingstop. I just had this in a recent vlog. Both of these videos are actually gonna go up within the same week, so it's probably not that good of a look. Wingstop, if you ever wanna work, baby, I love you. I'll never say nothing bad about you. You will always be famous in this house. One thing about me, when it comes to unwinding, I don't mind cooking, but if I'm cooking, I need a glass of wine. I don't know what it is, but a glass of wine just makes me feel so grown, sexy, and I didn't feel like making a glass of wine tonight, so you know, I was like, let me get some Wingstop. Every time I eat Wingstop, I don't know what it is. It just feels very like cozy. I feel very like chill when I eat it, even though I'll be bodying them 6-piece lemon pepper all flat, fried, extra seasoning, pink lemonade, extra ranch. Even though I'll be bodying that, I feel really just like chill, down to earth, humble, groundy. Like I feel like I'm here in the moment every time I eat Wingstop. I love it. I simply love it. I put some sweatpants on. This is it's not a set, but they go together. They're from PacSun, brand John Galt. These are all one size clothes. Not my favorite concept, but surprisingly they actually fit me this time, which is really a surprise. A lot of people may put on a robe or like a matching pajama set. That's not really my jam. I love a hoodie and sweatpants over anything any day. If I could wear anything for the rest of my life every day, it would be a hoodie and sweatpants. It doesn't have to be this one, but you get the gist. So I threw on a hoodie, sweatpants straight out the dryer, even though it wasn't dry the first time. Ran it through again because y'all are not catching me. And now I'm just waiting for my Wingstop. I'm super happy. I feel super content. I feel super like, does that make sense? Just super like chill, calm, mellow. Like my brain is like still, like for once, which is rare. So I think our little spa reset routine, nighttime, like hangout session went really well because it's doing everything that it's supposed to do. And I'm just super like calm. We sat and talked in the bath till my toes were pruny. Now I'm sitting in a face mask that I've had on for 20 minutes. Say hi.
Hey guys.
Nobody can see you. You have to squat down.
Hey y'all. How y'all doing?
Yeah.
They made it right.